Okay, in part one of the trading, we talked about trading in an offline league. Since we're in an online league, this is all for the online league. We're going to talk about the online league. The offline stuff is great, but in the online league, it's a lot harder to trade. One, we can't trade with the computer players. They're in the old online. There was a way to do it. I've tried to look at a couple things right now, and it doesn't appear to be allowing us to do it. I'm going to continue to see if I can do a workaround. If I right click on, say, Alan Trammell, it's going to say my only choice is set to not interested me. I don't want them to try to trade them to me, which I don't want to do. I can't actually ask to include them in the offer. But even when I go to the real teams and I go and I try to do it, that's the option. But I can go to it via this way, which is to go to the transaction, select the team. Now, when I go here and I say I put whatever, I put a trade in here. Actually, it looks like I already had a fake one in here. I'm getting no answer from them and I have no way to submit it. So this is the problem we're having with any sort of online thing. There's another way for me to get to it, but it's only in commissioner mode. Well, they'll actually give me an answer, so I'm going to try to figure out a way to make that work for you guys. But for now, we're not trading with the computer teams. We're only trading amongst ourselves. So I'm going to try to make a trade with Dave because Dave and I have a long history of trading together. So uh, we're going to look here and I'm going to try to make a deal with him. But I'm never going to be able to submit. This is always going to be grayed out. Can't submit the trade via here. He and I have to work the trade out offline, whether it's email, text, phone, whatever we want to do, and then it gets submitted through the commissioner channel. But before even getting to that point, I have to make sure the money works. And so this is useful for making the money work. So I'm sitting there and I'm looking. I'm like, I really want to make a trade with Dave, but I need to make sure I figure out how to money. Especially in this case, I'm 12 million under. He's 16 million over. We both got cash to play with, but this is going to be hard. Any trade between these two teams there's going to need to be some making of matching up the finance. When both teams have lots of budget and lots of cash, it doesn't come into play as much, but in this particular case it does. All right, so I want to bring Jim Palmer over to the Orioles, bring him back where he belongs, right? And I'm going to send him Juan Marichal. So right off the bat, that's not going to work. Palmer's at 16 million, Marichal's at 12. I'm already over budget. So we go back to we learn in the other one, which is okay. Well, it looks like it's about 3.5 million. We'll just make it 4 to make it work. There we go. That number works out. I put it in, and so now that I've got this, I can go ahead and screen capture and send this to Dave and say, hey, do you want to do a trade like this? And then we can go ahead and do it. It does allow me to submit offer, which is weird because when I tried to do before, that didn't happen. But either way, it's the kind of thing that we have to agree to anyway. It's not going to go ahead and push through and cement until we both decide. Chances are, he says, I don't know, Palmer's a great thing, but maybe if you sent me a first round draft pick and then threw in Jim Gantner. All right. And the number still works and all that. And we got to it and we agreed on it. We would screen capture this, send it in, and then the trade could be processed through the thing. So if you're going to make a trade with another guy, make sure that you work through and you get the finances working first before you do it. Other than that, that should at least get you started. And if you have any questions on trade, it's probably the part that gets some of the most confusing, but it can certainly be the most fun. There is trade deadline, there is all that stuff in there, but this is the start to get you going on trades. All right.